Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good middle of the night, whatever time you are watching this video. This is John Mathis Jr. with Mansion Entertainment, back with another video on learning to play the keyboard by ear. If you haven't watched our first video, if you're absolutely not familiar with the keyboard at all, go watch our first video. It'll kind of explain some things, get you familiar with the keyboard, get you familiar with identifying the notes, black keys, white keys, discovering some scales, and learning how to make chords from that. But in today's video, we're going to talk about an important little thing with chording, and I'll give you a chording exercise with this. We're going to talk about inverting chords and how to do that, how that will benefit you, not only in the tone that your chords produce, but sometimes in the ease of transitioning from one chord to another in the chord progression of a song. So here we go, inverting chords. All right, so we're going to talk about inverting chords, and we're going to go back to our A major chord. This is our A note, and just a reminder, we use the first, third, fifth note in the scale to create the A major chord. We had a previous video on a chord progression, and I used the song Waymaker, the progression from that, which is a common chord progression in a lot of songs. So we're in our A major chord. This is your standard way, 1, 3, 5, to make the A major chord. But this chord can be made in any combination of the 1, 3, 5. That's called inverting chords. So we have 1, 3, 5. We could do 3, 5, and put the 1 over the top. We could do 5, 1, 3. And it's still all A major. So that's inverting the chord. And you can hear the different tone that it gives by putting the 1 on top or putting the 3 on top of the chord. And so that's one reason for inverting chords. The other reason is, let's take the common chord progression for Waymaker. We're in the A major chord. The D major chord, which is part of the common chord progression with the A scale, would be here, okay? See the switch? A major, D major. What if we invert this D major down? So it's the 1, 3, 5 D major. What if we did 5, 1, 3? Now watch when we go back to our A major. I only have to move these two fingers, because by putting the 5 in the D major chord on the bottom, which happens to be our A, our root key, when I return, it's an easy switch. Or if I'm going to the D, back to the A. So inverting helps change keys quickly, swiftly. Our E major, that is also part of the common chord progression, is here. 1, 3, 5 in the E major scale. A major scale, E, 1, 3, 5. What if we made this with 3, 5 and put the 1 on top? Notice that the E is also part of our A major chord. So to transition back, I'm just moving these two, keeping my pinky here. So E major, A major, D major, A major. So just that inversion there, you can see how inverting a chord can help your transition from one chord to another. So I transition to the F sharp minor. F sharp minor would be 1, take the third note in the major scale, drop it down a half step, and add the 5. But if I invert that to something like this, so let's go from A major, the inverted E major chord, and then slide up to the F sharp minor, and then we can either go back to the A or from F sharp minor. It's one note to transition back to the D. So there you go. That's some information on inverting chords, that you can take that 1-3-5 from the major scale of form that you form a major chord with, and you can do that chord as a 1-3-5, a 3-5-1, a 5-1-3, any combination up and down the keyboard. Invert those chords and put that into your practice. You can go back to watch the previous video on the chord progression of Waymaker and adapt inverting chords to make that a little easier to play in transition. Have fun.